Farlands or Bust Expedition. It's called Farlands Expedition. That's the name of my save. I mean, technically the name of the save are in my folder. Like the folder is Farlands or Bust, all caps. But the name of the save in the game is Farlands Expedition. And we're at 38,621.96 megabytes. On the world save... What is Bottomless Pit? That is the bottomless pit of endless, dark, endlessitude. It's a place that we found in Farlands or Bust that I then went back to for a special episode and explored.
Really? You got it.
A fork
you got it. Hey.
in the timeline.
Hey.
After 9 months of trying to tell a joke with my sub-message, I might give up making you laugh. After all, no pun intended.
9, get it? 9, 10, 10, 9 numbers. Mamatsky, thank you for 41 months in the sub-tub. And, will you believe it, the first sub-resub of the day. You gotta watch that bottomless pit.
I am gonna watch that bottomless pit vid once this stream ends.
It's the dark and magical, mysterious, endless... I don't remember the name we gave to it. But I took the TARDIS back as part of the scheme and explored it. Like we almost died on the bottom. It was just a big old pit that just went all the way to bedrock, pretty much from the surface. Naturally. In the Farlands or Bust realm, we did not explore it because it would be too dangerous. So we did some time traveling. Alright, who's got your woofs ready? I'm ready. Wolfie's ready. My shovel is about to break. Who's that guy? That's a burning guy. Zomble. He's fine. I mean, he's dead, but he's fine. He's fine to us. Alright. Grab Wolfie. I don't remember ending the last episode in the ice, but I guess we did. And let's continue on. You were not ready. You were not ready. So yeah, we're just doing a stream. This is a stream of Farlands or Bust. Not an episode. Although I've noticed that the episodes, since we're doing 4 days, are almost as long as the streams. The hour-long streams. So... I'm thinking, like, is that impacting their viewership? I feel like the viewership sweet spot was the 3-day, 35-minute episode. But we don't care about that anymore, remember? We don't care. We're not trying to solve problems that are not within our control nor abilities. We're just doing our thing. We're doing our thing. And the chips may be plain or ruffled as they may. It is not for us to try to bend to their will. What's new? What's new, everybody? I have already talked about things like in other series' streams and whatnot. Talked about the monkey glass. Haven't found any since that first day, though. Although there's people still searching. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then good for you. Still gotta do the rear brakes on the Subaru. But judging by how well, I think I did the front brakes. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just procrastinating. I almost thought of doing it today, but then I definitely would not have streamed. I have a very strict one thing getting done per day limit. Yes, the rear pads. Yes. I think those were the ones that actually needed it the most. But I started with the fronts because I thought they'd be more important, but they really were not as badly worn as I anticipated, but... etc, etc. Now they're kind of squeaking. So that's more... I'll have to see what that's coming from and adjust whatever's wrong there. It's fine. It's fine! Not to mention I still need to do the whole radiator switcheroo on the Datsun. Ah, Skeletna! What was that? Save me, sheepies! He's burning up wherever he at. Oh, there he is. It's fine. We'll just leave him be. I'm waiting on a few things to come. We did find distilled water. We did find distilled water. You know who has distilled water? Target. Target had distilled water. Just the, 99-cent gallon of the store brand Target distilled water. Stocked up on distilled water for my radiator flush. Why does Target have it? I feel like there's a joke coming. Why did the Target? Why? Distilled water walks into a Target. Yeah, there's an alleged distilled water shortage. But you just gotta know where to look, apparently. So we stocked up. Sold them out. Bought them all. You fill your washer fluid with distilled water? No. But your radiator you do. Because distilled water doesn't boil. I mean, it reaches the temperature, but it doesn't traditionally boil, as you would expect. Science! Witchcraft! So I gotta do that. I'm still a real penny pincher. I should just... I have in my Home Depot shopping cart a set of power tools that I should just buy. Because they're not going to go on sale. I should definitely do it before I need to start doing all these projects. It'll be the true test of whether or not I hate working on my cars simply because all I have are hand tools. Or, if with the power tools I still hate it, then that just means I just hate it. Ryobi, yes. Even though about 10,000 people are going to come in here. That's how you get the views.
That into your DMs and Twitch.
You're going to say, oh, that's a bad brand. You should get Milwaukee, or you should spend...
I did have a distilled water joke, but it's completely tasteless.
Ah, Petertronic. Thank you for 63 months in the subtub. Is distilled water tasteless? I can't say I've ever discreetly, specifically drank distilled water. Only one way to find out. Yeah, I do. I got 4 gallons in the garage. Let's go. A lot of sheep. We've encountered many sheeps. I wonder what would happen if you made coffee with distilled water. I mean, it obviously wouldn't boil, but temperature's right anyway. Not that I'm gonna try. Woof. Nope. Right, I mean, that was, I mean, I don't think there's technically a distilled water shortage. It's just like grocery stores seem to be out of it. I just think grocery stores, what I've noticed is grocery stores don't have any of their store brand stuff anymore. So like the affordable stuff. Like there's no store brand potato chips anymore. Like they're just not even stocking them, or they've like removed the space on the shelf. I mean, I'm assuming the name brand stuff earns them more profit anyway. I feel like that's perhaps part of it. But yeah, people are saying like, oh, there's articles saying you should clean your masks with distilled water and all this. I don't think that's the reason. My store's been out of black beans for weeks. How am I supposed to get my saucy beanie action on? Not gonna go around here using pinto beans like some sort of commoner. Oh, I almost made slabs. You actually made a vlog stream. You made it to a vlog live stream? Truly made it. There's something on my eyebrow and I can see it. Out of the periphery. Oh, it's an eyelash. I'm falling apart here. So anyway, I also got, since it was cheap, I ordered a new water pump, but I don't know that my car needs one. But everybody's saying like, oh, if you're gonna change the radiator, change the water pump too, you might as well. It's like, I just know I'm gonna do it and then it's gonna start leaking because I did it wrong or something. I hate it. I certainly didn't do that on the SVX. Woof. Wow. What's wow, agent? Share. Share with the rest of the class. Ooh. Spooky noises. Alright. Just gonna disable chat while I'm streaming and just talking to the ether. Ah, that they made it to a Flob livestream. I see. You were reacting to the previous message in the chat thread. So I see. I'll finally go skiing this weekend. Do you know how to ski, or is this your first time skiing? The girlfriend has been doing a lot of skiing. It's her hobby of choice this winter. Whoa! Jokes! My hobby of choice this winter is video games. That's right. Lorgon knows. It's cheaper than skiing. I mean, unless you want to buy a console or a graphics card, maybe, but beyond that. Yeah, too bad there aren't any skiing video games. We did play Steep, didn't we? We were not impressed. It's very much like Forza Horizon for skiing and snow sports. And wingsuit gliding, for some reason, also thrown in there for good measure. Yeah, I did hear about, like, there's another, like, skiing game that has come out or is coming out. Ah! Oh no, I'm in the mountain. I'm free. Okay, we're good. Riders Republic. Ah, that one's even more arcade than Steep. That's probably the one I heard about via the various outlets. There's a bit more like of an indie developed game too, isn't it? It's not like big publisher. Oh, it's made by Ubisoft. Never mind. I stand corrected. I remember on the NES, there was, I think it was just called Caveman Games. It was like an Olympics Games thing, but cavemen. That was probably the best Olympics Games I've ever played. But it was a very, like, you're gonna get a callus because, like, running and stuff was like press A B A B A B, but like really fast. So like me and my sisters had to come up with like techniques of like putting the little, you know, the NES square controller down and just going blah 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 blah, like flicking your finger back and forth really fast until like the buttons practically jumped off, broke off. I'm pretty sure it was just called Caveman Games. There was weird stuff like, instead of like the shot put, you were a caveman and you threw a cave woman. Because it was the 90s. I don't know. I mean, I think it was pretty much like a reskin of track and field. Because there definitely was like a human Olympics sort of game, which might have been track and field on NES. It definitely just lifted straight from that. All right, Wolfie? Doing fine. Doing fine. I'm sure it probably wasn't called the Olympics on account of the trademark copyright situation with that, but we are aware of some bad climbing games. I mean, they're great games, but they're just bad for our psyche. It was, yeah, I'm pretty sure the name was just Caveman Games, yeah. Oh, that's too high. We'll be fine. Oh god, I never, like, replied back to the person talking about the overviewer map. That's never gonna happen. Careful, Wolfie! Wonder if the person watches the episodes. I don't know, honestly. I don't know that they do. I've also been considering looking for, like, a new web host. Because I'm paying a lot of money. Like, at one time, back in 2002, when I signed up for this web host service, it was a good deal. But now I think they got bought out by somebody, and why am I going up this way? I'm just gonna have to come back down in a dangerous fashion. See? See? Wolfie knows. What if... What if I just dig through? Careful, Wolfie! Why do you keep getting hurt, you dingus? What are you even doing? Good gravy. Good up. Oh, well, this isn't gonna work now that my shovel's broken. Damn. Oh, the best laid plans. fact that this is turned to stone is not encouraging. Oh man, I did get a dose of nostalgia. The person I follow on Twitter, the developer who made Race the Sun, was like working on a project and he uploaded, "Excuse me, sir." Well, that's bad. Careful, careful now. Yep, how did I know this was gonna happen? That's fine. Oh, whoa, Wolfie, don't push me. Oh, dang it. It was like making like an isometric like little tank game that looked a lot like Bolo. And then when somebody replied to him and said that they remember playing on an Apple II in like high school, a tank game that it reminded them, and he replied, "Bolo?" And then I'm like, "Bolo? I know Bolo. Bolo is how we formed, and then subsequently what forced the school to cancel our middle school computer club." Bolo was great. It was basically like, well, it was, for me anyway, literally like the first multiplayer like network game. It ran on like Apple, what was it called? Apple Speak? Apple Talk? Like that very early Apple networking protocol. But yeah, Bolo. Yeah, I mean, that was probably it. Apple Talk, yeah. It's just like a top-down, like, base building, but also, like, tank game. I mean, it was very rudimentary. But, like, me and my friends would have, like, we would, like, draw on, like, graph paper, like, plans for our base designs. And, like, ways to defend. What am I making here? Oh, I'm trying to make a shovel. What am I doing? Goodness gracious. That is not a shovel. That's a spade. There's a shovel. All right. I mean, it was definitely middle school. So, like, my 6th grade, which would have been, like, I don't know, 1995 or something. 1994. But yeah, I mean, consider it like these early computer rooms in the schools were just like, I don't know, a room with like 20 Apple II computers. And yeah, we like formed a computer club. And the like teacher who was like the computer club like chaperone or, you know, whatever, there has to be like a teacher supervisor, was just the gym teacher. She didn't know a thing about computers. So like in hindsight, it would have been nice to have like a computer club where we actually at this, you know, in the mid 90s learned about computers, maybe programming or hardware, something to have given us a head start on the technology of the day and of the future. Perhaps things could have turned out a little bit differently. But no, instead, we had a gym teacher who would read magazines as the rest of us would play Bolo. Week after week after week, we would just play Bolo. I mean, the most we had was a computer class where we basically played typing tutor. We just learned how to type. Which was, I suppose, a good skill to have, but at that time nobody you know, pre-internet. Nobody really knew what would become of anything with that. But yeah, at some point, you know, it was basically like there was two teams, so like half the room was on one team and half the room was on another, playing Bolo and stuff like that. And somebody said, somebody, you know, got mad because they died. And in Bolo, you can be a tank, but you can also, when you go onto the water, you become like a boat, a ship, like a boat, you know, or whatever. Somebody died and was like, "Oh, you stupid shit." And then the teacher's like, "That's it." And he's like, "No, I said you stupid ship. There's ships in the game." Nope. End of computer club. No more computer club for us. Shut it down. You can read magazines at home. Doesn't need to be here looking over a bunch of nerds playing video games. Yeah, that's literally all we did. There was like no doing anything or learning about computers at all. Yet another wasted opportunity thanks to the American education system. And I remember telling this story, and I remember Good was like, "Yeah, I played a lot of Bolo, and we even found it. Like, you can still, like, make it work if you have, like, a server, and you can make it work over, like, modern internet. And we had grand plans to get Mindcrack to play Bolo, but it was all just too complicated and annoying to bother with it, and it never happened. And it's the only project that never happened." In all of Mindcrack's history. Wouldn't you know it? But now I'm hoping that this developer I follow is making like a modern isometric top-down indie Bolo-like. Can it be called a Bolo-like? I mean, it was a neat game. It was a neat game. You basically had you could like build the base and make walls like with Tetris pieces. And then you had little pillboxes that would just like automatically like attack. You had to like defend your flag. I mean, it was pretty good for like a game that had like a building element, a multiplayer capture the flag, or a shooty strategy top-down sort of game. I think there were definitely mines. Like if you placed mines, then your teammates could see them, but the enemies couldn't. Oh yeah, I'm sure there were many games that were very similar. And I mean, honestly, it reminded me a little bit of Rampart, which was, I'm sure other places, but was an NES game. But it was just like a single-screen two-player game where you build a castle and like place cannons. That's what made me think of the word cannons. Rampart was my jam. Rampart, yeah. Every game is every other game. What were some of the first PC games you played at home? I mean, technically, PC games. I mean, the first PC we got was an Apple IIc Plus. My dad still has it. He keeps wanting me to ask if somebody like CoStar wants it. And we had like Carmen Sandiego and what was the game with the monsters? Rampage. A lot of Rampage on it. I mean, we didn't have it on it. You had to load it with the big floppy disk. Yeah, all I can think of is Carmen Sandiego and Rampage right now. But like, technically, yes, the big 5.25-inch floppy. Is that what they were? It just had like a separate thing. You got the big lever to push down in front of it. We did have like a little joystick, little cheapo Macintosh, like off-white. Load Runner. No, we didn't have that many games. See, we didn't play I didn't have Oregon Trail on the home computer. We had that at school. We played. Yeah, I'm not thinking of many games that I'm remembering on that. But then many years later we got the Windows. We got the Windows. We came down with a case of the Windows. I want to say it was Windows 98. Was like our first like computer, Dell computer. And then that's when I started playing like, or no, I put in a graphics card. I definitely like got an off-the-shelf graphics card and put it in, and then was able to play like the original Rainbow Six and the original StarCraft, Mech Warrior 2, Microsoft Flight Simulator 98. NASCAR Racing 98. I never played Warcraft. My friends had StarCraft, so I played StarCraft over the dial-up with them. I got absolutely annihilated because I don't like those types of games. Although there was a co-op mode. I feel like that's what we played a lot of. I'm not remembering many other... Like, the computer really wasn't too much of a game machine. I had the PlayStation. Excuse. The Dark and Magical Pit of Bottomless Destiny. That's the one. That's the name. For the 10,000 subscriber special. Ah, with 10,000 subscribers, I was able to get my Justin.tv partnership. Twitch should pay you a veteran bonus. It's Amazon. They're not in the habit of paying anyone who isn't themselves. In fact, I gotta figure out my tax. There's like the way they do taxes now. There's like extra money that they said they paid me that I didn't get paid, but I don't know what it means. And I would spend more money than what is in dispute trying to hire like a professional to figure it out. I think it might be bounties, but I'll have to check. But then I don't know why that didn't add to what was deposited into my checking accounts over the years. Not like Amazon is known for doing any sort of shady tax business or anything like that. They're recording the exposure. Then in that case, should be negative. Oh well, that's another thing. I'm definitely procrastinating, touching, or doing anything with. Spoof. Doing taxes or bust. Ooh, beans, beans, beans. Alright, careful, Wolfie. Oh, he's not going to be careful, is he? He was! Color me surprised. You should break boats, as the entities will build over time. Well, it's a good thing it's not a server. Because once we leave chunks, they despawn and never spawn again. It's literally not a server. This is before they made Minecraft single-player worlds into servers. Regardless of whether or not you were multiplayer or single-player. Oh, wait a minute. This might hurt when I land. There. Fixed it. Yeah, the server issue. Like boats. The boat problems showed up in single player. Real pain in the boat. I do remember that brief moment of tank controls for boats. Reverse tank controls. What a mistake that was. Unlike shields. Woo! Careful there. Oops. Speed round. I think the greatest thing we lost when they added shields is the ability to wave at people. Remember being able to say hello to your friends? Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Oh dear. Maybe no, let's not go that way. 'Tis a silly way. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting to like take screenshots for thumbnails for these streams. There, I did it. Now I can forget to use the thumbnail. A lot of times, weirdly enough, like the automated thumbnail that you get to choose from on YouTube ends up being like the same screenshot of the screenshot I took. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. Perhaps because it's a moment when the motion stops and then YouTube is like, okay, I'll make a thumbnail out of this. I don't know. Where's your folder full of headshots of you with different exaggerated emotions? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, that's all the rage and thumbnails. I see. I'm like, what? I thought that this was like something you knew that I had. And I'm like, it's the in vogue thing. I was gonna do that with the pinball thumbnail, but then I figured that would detract from the waifu on the screen. Just put your head on the waifu. Now that would have been a thumbnail. That's what the girlfriend said to try to get back viewership, is like, you just gotta do clickbait. You just gotta, like, forget any of your these alleged pointless morals. Just clickbait. And titles, thumbnails, descriptions, keyword spam. Unfortunately, the pinball video has not been picked up by the algorithms, as I previously had hoped. That old Rigs and Rods video, though, that's from like 2013. Whew, buddy. I guess a lot of people don't care about the fact that there's a much better game called BeamNG Driveout. Hummingbird. Oh no, don't identify it. Illegal in this household. Pressing F3? Question mark, question mark, question mark. True, I should start to test out putting pictures of Peepers and Niblet in the thumbnails. Wolfie's Dark Secrets. Top 10 mistakes every Minecrafter makes when walking to the farlands. Don't let this be you. True, yeah, I would have to put them through the distortion filter to, like, make their eyes even bigger and, like, mouths open. I did get roped. into watching one of those. It was like a video about it was like every home home electrician or DIY electrician makes this mistake with like those, you know, those the wire nuts. I'm like, well, I've used a lot of those. What am I doing wrong? And he's basically just like, you gotta pull them to make sure they don't come out. It's like, well, duh. You stupid idiot. Have my view, I guess. Joke's on you. I have YouTube bread. You're getting no money from that. Good grief. What's your thoughts on YouTube Shorts? Anything that YouTube or any platform is like trying to force their users to use, be it with like shoving it in front of their faces or like offering monetary incentives, is definitely a bad thing. And that's what they're doing with shorts. Whoa, watch your step. Woo! I don't know if they're still doing the thing, but they used to. Oh, we have $700,000 pool of money that will divvy up every month to the top shorts producers. They don't tell you like how much or when or view requirements or whatever. So yeah, I mean, same thing with like on Instagram, Reels. They're trying to, you know, they're only promoting Instagram pages that use Reels. Which is like the opposite, right? Like YouTube is trying to get the short videos and now Instagram is trying to get the long videos. Your shorts revenue will be at our discretion. I mean, it is, as somebody who built his now moldy, crumbling empire on the long form, personal, talky, relaxy content, the 60 seconds or less information sensory overload trend of everything is a bit sucky in that it just leaves me in the dust. That's a shame. I mean, it's the same thing about, I know Hank Green made a video about why like TikTok sucks as far as like paying creators, and I could see why the platforms want these short 60-second things, because then they can run ads in between the content and not with the content. Because like on YouTube, you've got an advertisement that's being served with the content. You feel obligated to pay that person a share of the ad revenue. If you're just putting ads in between the content and not associated with it, then that's all yours. That's all your ad revenue. You don't got to share any of that, according to them. And that's what Vine does, and that's why Vine like pays nothing. And it also keeps viewers engaged through longer breaks. Right, yeah. If the content is only a minute long, people don't care that they're being served 30-second ads in between each minute, as opposed to an hour-long video. You all see those memes and stuff of, like, YouTube videos with, like, the ad slots in the long video. Gee, I sure wish there was content in between my ads. But on the TikToks and the shorts and the Instagrams, that's exactly what it is. Shaking my fist at you, clouds. Yeah, it's still very jarring to be watching stuff on Paramount Plus and, like, getting ads. Look at that. Look at that pillar of justice. I've never seen it written like that. That's pretty good, Hummus Fraud. Uh, I am amused and bemused. I mean, it's the same sort of thing I see these channels with BeamNG content where they just, like, upload something like crazy crashes and they get like 6 million views. And it's not, there's no commentary, it's just crashing in BeamNG Drive. I'm like, I could do that. Probably. Twitch plays BeamNG. I was thinking of just, like, making, like, a compilation of Future Man. Although Future Man doesn't work anymore, so his ultralight helicopter brethren just flying around terrorizing the city. But then I realized that would take effort and editing and an attempt. I'm not about that life. And for whatever reason, I'm sure it wouldn't work on my channel. You could upload 10 hours of Car on a Stick. Joke's on you, I uploaded 12 hours of Car on a Stick. And look where it got me. And look where it got me! And look what happened next! I did the 14 hours, but I did the fast forward. I should have fast forwarded it super fast and made it a short. Hashtag. Still could. Effort. Actually, I don't know if that's possible. I mean, it's not possible in Premiere. I would have to, like, compress it to its maximum. I think you can only speed something up, like, 1000%. I would have to do that, export it, and then take that exported video, and then compress that again. Okay, oh. There you go. Too much effort for the old Kerche Mac. Try using fraps. What? Free fraps? Oh no! I should have gotten wood. I mean, I guess I have enough to make enough beds for the next time. But that's fine. Alright, somehow, once again, another Farlands or Bus stream devolved into complaining about what's wrong with YouTube. When, in reality, it's me. The problems exist within this circle. So yes, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, like, favorite, subscribe, ring-a-ling-a-ling, bell, bell, bell. And we'll see you in the next one. $38,703.87 megabytes. So close. To what? I don't know.